Okay, so in this next tutorial, we're going to go over real quickly how to manage categories. So adding, editing, deleting, all that, right? So when you press the first categories tab here, you'll be presented with the screen. It says product categories. That's how you know where you are. You can search for categories right here, or you can go through the different pages like this and navigate um, with these buttons. This double arrow brings you back to the first of the page. If that seems obvious, I don't know. I'm just trying to cover everything here. Make sure I get front to back. Also, worth mentioning, since this is right here, the uncategorized category is not removable. This is built into WooCommerce, and every other category can be removed. This exists because if you're going to add products, it has to have a default category for it to belong to. Otherwise, the database breaks. So that's why this exists, and you cannot get rid of it. However, we have already found a solution, and the uncategorized category does not list out here. So you don't have to worry about it. It's just in the background. Nothing belongs to it, but that's why this is here. Next, if you look at this panel, I want to explain kind of briefly like what these little marks mean. So the way that I decided to do the like naming schemes on the categories page here, I decided to make any main category all caps, so it'd be easier to see in a list, and then also so you could tell it was a main category. And then all the other categories, or like subcategories, I guess I should say, are written in camel case. So you'll see like atmospheric effects, miscellaneous. It's the capital A, capital right. So that's how that works. And then if you look here, you see these little lines right here. This means that it is a subcategory of whatever main category is above it, right? So these are all subcategories of atmospheric effects. And then these are all subcategories of audio, right? And if you add a subcategory of a subcategory, which I can show you really quick, actually. So we could say sub, I don't know, like subcategory, right? And then it needs a slug. So I'm going to explain what all this is, but I'm just going to quickly show you this. And then this is where you say the parent category, so atmospheric effects cabling, right? And then subcategory, add new category, right? So now you can see this subcategory of a subcategory exists, and it has 2 lines, right? And this can just keep going, right? You could have one with like 10 lines, and it could just keep like going down the tree. But that's how that works. And then if you want to delete it, it'll confirm and then delete it, right? So that's how that works. Next, let's talk about adding a new category. So like you just saw, basically this is the name of the category. So we could say like test category, right? And then the slug is the URL friendly version of the name, right? So this is what shows up in the URL when you click on the product, right? So if we go to audio right here where I have all these placeholder products and you click on this, you'll see it says audio cabling example 1, right? So this is an example of a slug. Obviously this is a product, this is not a category, but this is like what it means by slug, right? So it needs to be lowercase and then separated by dashes, right? So PA speakers is a good example of like a slug that would be URL friendly versus a title, which is like PA speakers, right? So that's how that works. So let's just say like, so for this instance, it would be PA category. So, or test category. And then after you've given it a name and a slug, you then select the parent category. So the parent category, let's just say, is mixing consoles, right? And then you say this is a test category, or we'll just say test cat. All right, so that's what this is. So description is obviously pretty self-explanatory. It's a description. So you can edit this. All this can be changed, but that's what this is. And then display type. So there's default, which is just a normal category. And then products, which is saying it's a product category. And then subcategories. So if it's subcategory, like this one is, you want to say it's a display type of subcategory, so it displays correctly. You can also say both, but I don't recommend selecting that. Next is the thumbnail. So thumbnail is what it sounds like. It's just the image that shows up on the category. So for your shop specifically, we have put in custom category images, like you may remember from the title cards, like these, right? So these aren't actually thumbnail images. These are customly selected images, but in a normal shop sense with WooCommerce, it would show the categories listed out, and then it would show their thumbnails. So that's what this is for, but you really don't have to do anything for this because no one's going to see it anyway. So you then press add new category, and then it will add it. And then if we go to mixing consoles, you can now see there's a test category. So let's say that we wanted to change this. You have two options. So there's a quick edit and then the edit. This is very similar to the products tutorial video that I made, but essentially I'll just go over it real quick again. If you want to quickly change something, so quick edit like it sounds, this is how you change the name and the slug, right? And the reason that you do this, that you might want to use this, is if you like put a typo in the name or the URL slug and you don't want to press edit because edit takes you to a different page, right? So if I press edit, it'll actually take me to a separate page where it will actually show me all of this. And then now to get back, I have to press like return, or I have to press categories again and then go back to the page. But this is how you change everything again. So this is all the same info that we just put in for creating the new category. So anything that you put in can be changed again. It's not like it's permanent. You have to delete it and make a new product. But that's how that works. And then once you're done editing it, you then press update, and then it gets updated. And so I'll just show you this. Like, we'll change it to test category 1. If you press update, it then gives you the option to return back to the categories, which is pretty helpful. You can also delete it. So you press delete, and then it'll ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And then you press OK, and then it'll delete it, and then it'll take you back to the category page. So that's how categories work. Then you can manage them. If you want to like do bulk actions, you can like select all these items and then press delete and then apply, and then that'll work. But that's if you want to delete every category or something happened, right? But that's what that's for. And yeah, basically that's what it's. That's essentially the quick overview. If you want to like view it and see what it looks like, you can press the view button, and then it'll show you like the category, right? So that's how that works. And then if you want to make it the default category that like shows up on the page, you can do that, but that won't do anything for the way that the shop's configured. But that's why that button's there. So yeah, that's how you add new categories, edit them, and then delete them. There you go.